Hey parents, so welcome to Transform Your Kid. My name is Perry, and in this video, I want to talk about the first thing, the number one thing you have to handle for your child if you want your child to improve in mathematics. Because the very first step towards success in mathematics, in my experience at least over the past decade of teaching students from the ages of 7 all the way to 16. There's this pattern here. The pattern is that they only get better in mathematics when their attitude becomes positive in mathematics. There's plenty of research that talks about how a negative attitude versus a positive attitude can influence the function of the prefrontal cortex, which is where higher order thinking is, and that's where math problem solving is. And and a lot of times, this is the exact opposite of what students feel towards math, right? A positive attitude. So in my work with them, I do my best to, well, fortunately for me, being positive and being, I don't know, just being positive in general is rather easy for me. The thing is, when they get out of this environment, they go back into schools, they go back into the home, these influences then affect their attitude towards math again. Because you know what? A lot of times in a math classroom, if you're not the sort that are you have a very strong language of logic or a number sense, you didn't develop number sense since you were young, then it can be quite a struggle in school for a young child. Yeah. So there are three myths that you have to first bust out of your child's mind in order to transform their attitude from a negative to positive. Three myths. The number one myth is this. The first myth is that they have to be intelligent in order to be good at math. That's a big one. Here's why. Very often they equate their lack of math ability to them being stupid, to them being not as good as their peers. It's really sad. But we now know, I mean, you and I both know that math is a function of practice, math is a function of skill times effort times talent, right? If you don't have the talent for it, then you maximize the time and you increase the amount of effort you put into those practices. So that's math. But we have to help them to understand that math is a growth subject. It's not a fixed subject. It's not a have or have not. I'm either a math person or I'm not. That's not true. And we have to help our child to overcome that mindset about math. Okay. Number two is the myth they have about math is that they think it's okay. It is totally okay to suck at math because most of my friends and most people in the world suck at math anyway. And guess what? Sometimes even the parents say that I sucked at math when I was young, so maybe that's why you suck at math too. Big no-no, right? Even though we sometimes feel that's true, we don't want to say that to a child because it influences the child. It influences their mind to think that it's okay. It's okay to suck. Most people do. Uh, I have a friend who is a certified accountant, like what's it called, a chartered professional accountant, and she openly admitted to me that she hated math when she was young. What she hated wasn't math because she loved numbers, right? She loved numbers and making sense of numbers. What she hated was illogical math. What she hated was rote learning. That's what she hated. So we have to reframe and frame math in the right way for our child. So that's myth number two, that it's okay to suck at math. Myth number three that we have to bust for our child is this. Math is not useful outside the curriculum, outside the classroom. And that's a big one. That is very usual, isn't it? They think, when am I ever going to use, like, what is it? Ratio. Let's say you have a 11-year-old just learning ratio. When is ratio ever important in my life? When is changing a fraction into its decimal, into its percentage, into whole number with a remainder form? How's that? How does that relate, right? And we have to make sense of it. We have to make sense of it for them. And if you can't, then fine. Then you find examples in real life, like for example, when you're doing your bank loans, you realize that 2.5 versus a 3.0% interest rate makes a huge difference. That 0.5% makes a huge difference, right? Whereas if you are organizing your wedding or someone is organizing their wedding, then they have this many guests. For example, they have 554 guests, and they need to know how many tables they need. Then dividing it and having the decimal point is not really important, because whatever remainder they get, it simply means one more table, right? So sometimes remainders means a lot, sometimes remainders don't, sometimes percentages those decimal points means a lot, sometimes they don't. And so that's why we need to know which ones to use in real life, and that's why we have to know all of them, right? Ratio, dilution factors, medicine. If you dilute wrongly, you could kill your child. How important is that if they tell you it's a 2-to-1 ratio of the medicine to water? Huh? And you go like, what's 2-to-1? You could kill someone, right? So it all makes sense. And you've got to help. We have to help the child to understand that. So just to recap, the first step towards success in mathematics is to transform their attitude from a negative to positive. And the 3 myths that we want to bust out of their minds is, number 1, intelligent equals math. Meh, 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 meh. It's okay to suck at math. And math is not useful. All right, so this is Perry Live from Transform Your Kid. So parents, I hope this was useful to you. Like this video, share this video, and comment in the section below to let me know if you have any other questions or how I can help you. Right? Talk to you soon. Bye.